So a lot of people think that becoming successful is by chance. It's not. Okay, becoming successful is a product of consistency. Become successful in something. If you become successful in one thing, just one thing alone, you become successful in every other thing. Let me give you for instance. If you create the habit of waking up every day at 6 a.m., like just every day wake up at 6 a.m.
The video you're about to watch is with Emmanuel, our real estate guy. You guys remember our regular Monday real estate. So we are about to teach you guys investment and money management, self-development. So I talked with Mr. Emmanuel on the basics of money management, because there are a lot of people that everybody knows this. There are some people that after receiving salary, for those that are receiving salary, after receiving salary, going into the next month, you will not see at least 20% of what they earned from last month. They consume everything and they go into credit. So we talked about the need and how you can be able to manage yourself, how you can be able to make a budget, because there is no way you will be able to save your money regularly without a budget. So we talked about the need for you to, again, invest in yourself, for you to be able, grow in. There is no way you are going to grow in life without learning, without getting education, without prioritizing your future and learning things that will enable you to get to that level that you want to grow. So we talked about money management for people that are still earning salary and how they will be able to be financially buoyant with the salary that they are earning. Money management and investing in real estate, how you can invest in real estate and the type of properties you can invest in, and also he's running ad in Nigeria. So the things that if you want to come to Dubai to buy property from him, he will pay for your flight ticket to come here, or he can also, depending on your agreement, he can give you visa, or he can pay for your flight ticket and coming here. So you guys are going to enjoy it, because I enjoy it. In my podcast, there is no way you will not learn something. In any topic that we are talking about, everybody that I bring to my podcast are people that will leave you with something to think about, or with something you will say. It's a good thing that I tune into this podcast today. Welcome to Vicinfluential podcast, and if this is your first time joining us, I will ask you to subscribe, like it, and add your comment. Today we are going to go on educational level. I brought Mr. Emmanuel. I told him that today we've been hearing him talk to us about market, give us market insight, but it will be good that today he will teach us the financial aspect of it, investing, for us to actually understand everything that he's been talking to us about. So today I will advise you to have a pen and pencil to write some points down, because I also have my own pen and pencils down. My phone is actually recording, as you guys can see. Maybe you cannot see behind, but my phone is actually recording. So, Mr. Emmanuel.
Yeah, welcome to. Thank you.
Yeah, so I think we had a 2 weeks break or 1 week break.
I think it's up to 2 weeks. So.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's up to 2 weeks.
Today you are pumped, right?
100%.
Yeah.
As always.
Yeah, I was talking to you, or was it the other day that we went to, I think, lunch or something? I was talking to you about money market, investing, how to understand money, and how to be able to manage our incomes.
Okay, I think, one of the things that we are not taught, or nobody teaches you, is how money works. Okay?
Yeah.
Sometimes most people learn it, and they learn it the hard way. Okay, and by that time they are learning it. Sometimes it's late. Okay, understanding how money works is not that simple, but it is. A lot of people don't like going into calculations, going into do this or do that, and because the process of budgeting, because it starts from budgeting to saving to investing, looks like if is a process that cages you or streamlines you to a particular way of life. You know, we all want to live life. We all want to enjoy life. But once you put budget to whatever you're doing, it restricts some kind of things you do. Okay? It's either it goes south or it goes north. So when you budget, then you save some percentage of what you earn so you can invest. Okay?
Yeah.
But when you don't budget, you don't save and you can't invest. So you go back to that same circle again. Like if you read Rich Dad, Poor Dad, what he talks about majorly is how to get out of the circle, the roller coaster of earning money, spending money, and going back to earn money again. Okay? So it's you, one, understanding what your income is, knowing that there is a certain percentage that you need to save. If you can't save, then you have to cut down costs of how you're living. And then knowing that that certain percentage you're saving should be invested in something, especially in something that will yield you an income. And that's something that will yield you an income should have the propensity to propel, like you can grow it. So it's all about growing money. So investing money is not just investing or buying investment. It's a way to grow your money so that you don't end up all your life still working for money, but you end up at a certain stage letting that money work for you.
Yeah.
So it's getting out of this circle. That's what everybody's dream is. That's what you call financial independence. So when people talk about financial independence, they make it look so difficult for you to understand or look so big for you to achieve. Okay? But it's in simple terms, anybody can achieve financial independence. Even if you're take for instance in Dubai, even if you're earning 2,000 dirhams every month, you can achieve financial independence and still save. Some people will tell you it's not possible, okay? But it is. One, where you live, how much you pay for rent. Two, what you spend on the month. And three, what you're going to save. So these three things are what gives you. So if you can't save, then it means you should cut down on the things you spend or on the rent you pay.
So first, it's paramount for you to have budget.
Of course, nobody lives. You see, Socrates said the unexamined life is not worth living. You cannot live, just be living up and down and be walking up and down without a budget.
Yeah.
Okay? For instance, I don't earn salary. I work on commission. There is a month you will not close a deal. There are months you close 2 or 3 deals. Now, the months I did not close the deal, how do I spend? Where do I spend the money from? It means I should have a budget. The months I close 2 deals, 3 deals, should I not go and spend all of it? No. Because there are months that I might not close a deal. But this is what I do. For every money that is coming into my hand, for instance, there is already something budgeted for it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For it to be sustainable.
Exactly. So it doesn't just come and stay because I don't save money. I only hold it for it to get to where it's going to because that money is going somewhere. So once it comes, I hold it for a little period of time and I move it to where it's going to. and it's always going to investment, something that will bring me something. And when it brings me that thing, I recycle it. Okay, I'm not saying I don't pay myself, and I'm not saying I don't spend, but I have a budget. Like if I go out this week, I have a certain amount I'm going to spend, and I'm not going to spend beyond that. And if peradventure something happened and I spend money on something else, well, I'm not going to.
You will cut back.
Of course, you cut back.
Yeah.
Okay. The aim, I have a dream. Okay, I have a vision where I'm going to, and I need to reach there.
Yeah.
And I have a target I gave myself. I have the number of years I want to be active, like active, working, and I have the number of years I should be passive. Okay.
Yeah.
So I don't want to keep working when I'm over 50. I want to be passive. I want to sit down, relax, monitor my businesses and investment I've made as they grow. Then I can still decide if I'm going to do more businesses or make more investment. But I don't want to get to 50 and still exactly and still be actively working that I can be up all night trying to figure out something. Sometimes I don't sleep. Sometimes I might sleep 2-3 hours. In some cases, when you're expecting a client call for people that live in another time zone, okay?
Yeah.
When I had a client from UK, I had to stay up till 3. You know, he has to go do his stuff, go play football, come back home, and he needs to make a payment. And I need him to make that payment because he said he's going to do it when he's done playing football. So I need him to do that payment and send me the receipt so I can send it to the developer. So now, this kind of stuff, I have to be up and wait. Now, if I don't do these things now, I won't be able to get the life I want later in life. That's the way it works. But then, if you choose to do it the other way around, it means you will keep doing it even when you're 60 or 70. That's why when people leave, they end up leaving nothing. Like, you know, in Igbo we say now, like you have nothing to show for it. You know, so nobody wants to live like that. And we are not saying, or I am not saying that you should give it all. You know, give it up about taking care of yourself. You pay yourself, you take care of yourself. But you should know that you have a limit. I cannot spend money like somebody that is earning 50,000 every month. Even though I know some months I earn more than that. Okay? But I'm not going to spend money like that. The same thing, somebody that is earning 3,000 should not go and be spending money as if he's earning 10,000.
Yeah.
Okay? So
and start living on borrow.
People
live on borrow.
People live on borrow. The idea of credit card and everything deceives people. Okay? And it makes it difficult for you to have savings. You know, if you want to know how money works, look at the bank. Okay? Bank doesn't save money. Bank is in the business of cash flow. They're in the business of making money work and getting more money. The money you deposit in the bank is not there. It doesn't stay in the bank. They give it to another person. Yeah. And the person brings him more money. They'll give it to another person. So they're in the business of cash flow. And every successful business is a business of cash flow. It's people bringing in money and making people to bring in more money. That's the way investment works.
So I want to understand this budgeting. How we try to teach people to be, how should I say this? To have at least a basic knowledge of how to spend money, their income, when they have their income, how they can be able to manage their money to be sustainable. Because I am sure there are people, after their salary, it doesn't matter how much they are getting, at least 20% of it cannot stay till next month.
Yeah, there are people like that. It's quite a
Most
pity.
people, yeah.
Yeah. The thing is this, okay? If you are, it's going to go two ways, okay? there is a stage you will be in life that you need to keep growing. Self-development.
Yeah.
If you want to earn more, you become more. You cannot earn more if you don't become more.
Yeah.
Now, if your expenses are the recurrent ones, are the ones you cannot do without, obviously there are things you cannot do without. Even as much as you cut down your cost, there are still things you cannot do without. It's advisable at an early stage to become more. Put more money in self-development. Become more so you can earn more. Now, but if you cannot become more and you're still stuck with the same kind of income, you have to think of ways to expand it.
Okay, sorry. Can you explain to us? Maybe there are some people maybe don't understand what you mean by self-development. Can you break it down in a layman's language? How everybody can understand it? What do you mean by self-development, and how, if they want to be using their salary to be investing and that will not have savings, how can they benefit from it in the future?
Okay, let's go this way. Let me use examples. Let's say, what is the salary of a security guard in Dubai now? What is the average salary?
Let's say 5K.
Okay, 5K. And let's say the person has family. Let's say a married man have kids, and those money goes straight to taking care of the family. Okay, and every year is all the same. Now, you cannot continue like that, because at a certain point, there are things that will come into play that you will need extra money to solve, because you cannot have savings. Now, what do? We live in an era that everything is on the internet. For instance, and in Dubai, in a way, there is Wi-Fi in any building you enter. If the security guy is staying at in an accommodation, the company accommodation, or at work, okay, let's leave work out of it. When you are off work in the company accommodation, what do you do at those times? And when you open the internet, when you open your phone, what do you use it for? There are some things when you see all the time. You know, I'm running an ad in Nigeria for property. Now, from that ad, I've gotten more than 20 to 30 people asking me about a job in Dubai. There is one single thing I always ask: what skill do you have? If you don't have a skill in 2025, if you don't have anything you are known for in 2025, I wonder what you're doing. Okay?
And not everybody got this.
Not everybody. People don't understand it.
Yeah.
People think that you just go to school and come out with a certificate and you're looking for a job. And if you ask them, do you know how many people that are looking for a job today with that same certificate you have, and how many that have better certificate than you? What do you think is the probability that you're going to get it? That's always the thing. So if you don't have a skill in 2025, sorry, you're not going to get anywhere. Sorry to say it, but it's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Today, I've gotten a graphics designer that's working with me, and I'm going to look for a video editor too that is going to work with me, okay, that will be paying every month. These are the things we're talking about. Now, if you get these kind of gigs, let's say you're from Nigeria, and you get these kind of gigs, like 3 or 4 people together on a monthly basis, you're clicking close to 300,000 or 400,000 every month.
Spending.
Yes, every month. And this is the scale you have. You've learned. You're not putting anything. In fact, all the money is gain. It's not like there is cost price and profit. Okay? All the money virtually are profit. Except for some apps you'll be paying for if you're using the paid apps to do the job. Everything you're getting goes into your pocket. This is what makes 2025 very beautiful. And it will keep happening like this.
That will come here.
And years to come. Okay? We're not talking about AI. The people that will make money from AI outside those that built it are those that knows how to use it. So what do you do with your phone in your free time? It's not about self-development. Is not about going to pay for a course to learn. It's knowing that every course you want to learn today, everything you want to learn today is free on the internet.
Yes.
All you need is to browse it, sit down, and learn it.
Digest it very well.
That is one. Two, read books. I say it all the time, and most people don't understand what it means to read books. It is not what you learn from it. It is what it makes you. Reading. What reading makes you to become. Is what it makes you, what you make out of yourself by reading. You don't need to, like pack everything to remember it. But when it gets to the time you will use it, you will not know how it's going to come about.
It will come.
Because it will come. The brain has a way it works.
Yeah, there is this thing I was reading. They say, just trust your instincts.
Just read it.
Read and trust your instincts. When that time comes, it will come.
It will come to use. It just comes in and flows like water without ease. That's just the point.
That's true.
So, as you're going, what should be in your mind is, how do I become more? How do I get from step A to step B? How do I earn more? That's all.
That's a question you need to ask yourself. Then you know the path to
develop.
Yeah.
You know where to go into. You know what you like best that you want to focus on.
That is that critical thinking that we're talking about.
Exactly. So a lot of people do think that they think, but actually most people don't know how to think. Because thinking is not a straightforward thing. It's a 360 kind of stuff. You do all the what ifs. Okay? You get all the answers and you start analyzing the answers from the beginning to the end. And then you start deducting the ones that fits in better than the other.
Yeah.
And start going from the best.
Fitter them.
Yes. To the other ones. And there is no how you go through the first three that you will not get result. It's not possible. You see, the human brain is magic. We have not even, we have not even...
And if you become addicted to it, it's what you need to be doing and become addicted to.
It becomes your lifestyle.
Yeah.
So a lot of people think that becoming successful is by chance. It's not. Okay, becoming successful is a product of consistency. Become successful in something. If you become successful in one thing, just one thing alone, you become successful in every other thing. Let me give you for instance. If you create the habit of waking up every day at 6 a.m., like just every day wake up at 6 a.m., okay? Make your bed, brush your mouth, and just sit. Just have that habit. You will see that if I tell you to do some other thing and do it for, let's say, 3 months, you will be disciplined and consistent in doing that same thing. It's just like what I told you before. The common and the basic law of physics. If you take a principle, if you take a working principle and put it into another field, it will still work perfectly.
Yeah.
So it's not by chance. Cultivating the habit of, for instance, being on time to something is a habit of self-discipline. Some of us learned it because we had no option growing up. We went to boarding school, so we know the importance of punctuality and being on time. Okay, so it's not something that it has become part of us that once the time for something is due, we already know that we have to plan on how to get there. I have to check the traffic, how to know which road I'm going to take. I have to know, okay, how long will it take me to get there? And I will be there. 100%. So that same way is the way I see every other thing. When I'm going to see a client now, I have to know this client, who is he or she? In what field is he into? There is a way doctors think. There is a way engineers think. There is a way those in the academic field think. There is a way lawyers think. You already know, or you should know, that from each of them they have perspective on how they see things with respect to the field they operate in. Okay?
Yeah.
You cannot expect the same question from an architect as well as from a lawyer. A lawyer will come from the legal point of view. An architect will come from the design and everything because he wants all his things to be perfect. And it's simple. I've seen it every day. One of them told me, you know, I'm an architect. And I know that I want this thing to be. I said, yeah. And that's why I brought you to this project, because when you take a look at it, you will feel that there is no error. So you should know these are what planning is all about, and examination. So if you don't plan, just like the same way if you don't plan your life and you leave it like any day you wake up and everything continues, you're not going to get anywhere. It's not easy, but when you have the habit of doing it, it simplifies every other thing you're doing. It's the same thing you bring in to the financial perspective. That I have to budget for this, this, and this.
Money management.
Money management. Every other thing that goes beyond this, I'm not going to do it.
Being efficient with your cash is budgeting. First, you have to budget.
You have to budget.
And there is something like, if you budget, you stay on it. There are people that...
That's self-discipline.
I can spare a few.
No. Instead of sparing a few, I better save a few.
Yeah.
Because there is something there that might come up that will be very important that you need to go off the budget. So you better save when you can and add more to your savings than spend on something irrelevant and probably something more important comes in and you don't know how to do about it. Exactly.
Yeah.
So if you have the opportunity to spend less, spend less.
Okay. This is we just had a beautiful conversation about money management and self-development.
Yeah.
So I would like to ask you about investing in real estate.
Okay.
The types of apartment, the type of houses, warehouses for commercial, rental, living, all this kind of real estate, the types of houses we can invest or the kind of properties we can invest in real estate.
Okay.
Yeah. Understanding it and how to go about it.
First of all, the person must have a plan. Okay? When you have a plan on what to do, you can relate that plan to your real estate consultant or your broker or your agent. But the problem here is that not every broker or every agent knows the business of real estate. Buying real estate is different. And understanding the business that goes on in the real estate is a different thing altogether. So not everybody knows about it. This thing of come and buy this property, you get 8% return, you see it ring everywhere, everybody is saying it, okay? 8% on investment, 10% ROI, all of this kind of stuff. Breaking it down is the other aspect of it. Now, you're telling me that this property is going to give me 10% return. How? Why? In what ways? Okay?
Yeah.
So you need to tell me for a fact that this and this and this are what guarantees that I will get 10% from this project or from this property. So if you're able to tell me that, then from there we can look beyond that, or look around that and see, is there another possible way of getting more? Or is there a possible way of doing more? For example, if you buy a studio now in JVC, a ready studio, for, let's say, 600,000 dirhams, okay? You can rent it for 60,000 dirhams. You can rent it for, at least
a month.
No, a year.
If you buy it at 600.
If you buy it at 600,
okay.
you can rent it as 60.
Okay.
Or least you can rent it as 55.
Okay.
At 55 is almost 9% or 8 plus. Okay? What I calculate is this. If you are buying that property with mortgage, bank will take, let's say, 4% or 4.2%. And if you're making, let's say, 8% from that property, you have 3.8 remaining. Okay? From that 3.8, you pay the service charge for the property. Let's say, take 1% for the service charge, for example. So you have remaining 2.8. That 2.8 is profit. So when we talk about using bank money to make money, this is what we're talking about. So you're making 2.8% with bank's money because you're using mortgage to buy it. So this is the business of real estate. So when we start explaining all these things, it is to let you know what areas or how much you should budget for investing and how much you are going to get. So if you have the capacity of buying more, if you have capacity of going through to buy from off plan and paying cash, for example, if you want to pay cash for a property of 700,000, a new studio from a developer, you have chances of paying like 500 or 550.
Yeah.
Because you're paying full cash. So instead of leaving that money in your bank, and bank will be paying you interest rate of, I don't know if it's 1% or 0.5. If you put it on the savings, they will pay you like 0.5 or so. I don't know how much. But what is something it's not reasonable, of course. It's something very negligible. That's what they pay. But if you take that money and pay for a full cash in a property and get a discount of almost 200,000 dirhams, that's what you already made. At the entrance, at the point you're buying, you're purchasing, you already made profit. I say it all the time. The profit you make from every investment in property is made at the entrance. At that point, you're buying it. That's when you made a profit. You cannot tell me that a property will grow to become so and so price in so and so year.
Yeah.
Without me seeing it. I need to see it. I need to see the reasons why you think that property will grow in the future. Appreciate 30%, 40% capital appreciation. I need to see it.
And this is the residential part of real estate.
These are residential part of real estate. The same thing you take to the commercial part. That's why if you still take the same process and put it into another thing, it will still work.
But commercial part, commercial real estate and residential, which one yields more profit?
Commercial yields more profit.
But in the long run.
But then buying commercial requires higher capital than residential. Okay? So that's the difference. And most people do not know about commercial. Most people don't go into commercial because there are more residentials than commercial. And it's easier and cheaper to buy residential than to buy commercial.
And the rental is mostly leased in years, like
it's almost a yearly basis. It's normal. The same way
yearly?
Yes. But then you can see who will require 2 years, but it's a yearly rental. It's a yearly rental. The same way it works in residential, the same way it goes in commercial. But the price of buying it is higher. The same way in what you rent it for is higher. There are people that is their way, is their job. They just prefer commercial. Okay. But it's not something you do all the time. because it's always once in a while kind of stuff. You do more of renting it than selling it. There are always few units of commercials to be sold, especially offices. You hardly see warehouses wanting to sell. Warehouses are always on lease.
Or this supermarket space.
Yeah, those retails. No, retails are always for rent. Only few goes up for sale once in a while. So that's why most people prefer to do the residential, because you always have something in residential than in commercial. But the commercial aspect is still good. If you have the opportunity of acquiring it, it's nice. Okay? But it requires more money. And for sure, nobody wants to spend more money, even if you are investing. If you have where you can spend lesser and still get the same percentage, because investment is not about how much you put in. Okay? It's about what percentage comes back to you in terms of return, ROI. If you are putting in 10% and getting 10% return on every 100,000 dirhams, and somebody is putting in 1 million dirhams and is still getting the same 10% return on every 1 million, it's still the same. That's why investment, anybody can invest, no matter how small the money is.
But commercially, can also use a mortgage to get it.
Yes.
But it's just that it's bigger.
It's bigger.
It's advisable for working class people to always go into residential.
Working class, yes. Residential is always easy because you are getting pre-approval, okay, from the bank. Pre-approval is the amount of money that you can use to buy a property. So the amount of money you can use to buy a property is relative to the amount of salary you're earning. So you cannot earn 10,000 and get the same money to spend on a property like somebody that is earning 20,000. They won't be the same. Okay?
Yeah.
What you get as per salary will guarantee the amount of money you will get or you will use
As mortgage.
So that's where pre-approval comes in.
Okay. Another thing I wanted to ask you is, for somebody that wants to invest in real estate, what should they always look at for market trend? And there is something you told me that Al-Basha South, or a place that is going to be the next oil in real estate now.
It's not really market trend. Okay. It's where is development going? Where development is going, just like I've forgotten who said this. The man said, or the person said, find out where people are going to, go there, buy the land, and wait. It's about where the people is moving to. What guarantees great return on every investment is the business of the people. If you remove us from Dubai now, in fact, remove us from Dubai, remove the business in Dubai. No, I'm just saying, remove the business that we do in Dubai, the buying and selling that people do in Dubai, all the free zones. Remove it from Dubai. Everybody here will go. You get it? Everybody here will go. Nobody will come here because we'll go to where we will have something to do. That's what happens in business. It's something that happens in real estate. So if you understand it, then you will make more money in real estate. That's what people should look out for. But the point is, if you're not in the business, you will not know even when you see it. I was asking somebody at lunch the other day when we were discussing, they were saying that in 2027 that the property prices will go down.
In Dubai?
In Dubai. So I just asked, so why do you think it will go down? Because I don't just, you have to give me your reasons and it has to be reasonable. Okay? If we live here now and we are going back, what I look at or what I look out for is not the same thing you look out for.
Market will crash, huh?
No, not. I'm not even talking about market will crash.
I mean, the people that are talking about 2027.
Yes, so they're saying the market will crash. So I'm coming to what I now ask them. So why do you think the market will crash? They said, oh, it does this every so and so year that everybody is saying it and everybody is saying it. I said, okay, so why do you think the market will crash? And everybody is saying it is not the answer. What are they saying? And what are you saying? I now ask, do you know the number of people that come to Dubai every year? They don't know. Another question. How would you compare the traffic we have in Dubai now and the traffic we have in Dubai in 2022?
2 years ago, yeah. Even when I came here, self.
Exactly. They don't. Now they know. They were like, oh, there's too much traffic. I say, okay. What do you think that causes traffic? Is it too much cars? Too much this?
Influx, human beings.
I said, those cars, do they drive themselves? They said no. I said, that's why property is going up. And that's why there are a lot of people coming into Dubai. And that is why there is no number of units that you will release today in Dubai that will be enough. These are, you see, because it's my business, because it's what I do, these are the things I look out for every day.
Yeah.
How many new businesses gets registered every day? You spoke with somebody here on a podcast, the lady that is into business registration.
Yeah.
You remember what she said?
Yeah. She registered 500 people last year.
Exactly.
Just last year.
New businesses. Those new businesses will require offices.
Yes.
Those new businesses will require workers. They will rent apartments where they will live. The people working with them from other countries will come in with their families. These are the things we are talking about. But people just look at news and make their own presumptions. You see, I have a client that he's not a client per se, he's a friend. He's a friend because he's not a client. He's a friend. He's been wanting to buy property since 2 years ago. Until today, he's still wanting to buy property. You get the point? And every year...
He's on a wanting zone.
Yes. Every year he comes back to tell me, oh, this, that, what is happening, and he wants to see this. I have stopped sending him properties because I know he is not ready. So these kind of people that are never going to make a decision, he wants to do things because you did it. He hears some other person. In fact, at each point he comes back to me asking about property is because somebody close to him bought. Okay? So he like, oh, this person bought here. Can you help me check that building? I said, is it that building you want to check because the person bought it, or you want to buy your own? So these are the kind of people you see. So to them, they are waiting for when the business will crash. And then I asked them one last thing. Because while you're looking at the businesses that opened up in Dubai, you're looking at the number of kids that enrolled in school.
In school.
You remember you're looking at how many new schools that opened up in Dubai. We're talking of Pakistani schools. We're talking of Russian schools. We're talking of the British schools. We're talking of American schools. All of these countries have different curriculums, and the Indian schools. So they are all coming in to open up.
Yeah.
The schools with their own curriculum from their home country. Now, the last thing I asked them, as of 2019, 2020, when the COVID hit, how many of you bought properties? Nobody.
That our market went down?
Yeah. Because people were panicking. People were traveling, people were panicking, they want to sell their property. So how many of you bought at that time? Nobody. It's the same reason why you will not still buy.
In 2027, even if it happens.
Even if there is any way there is inflation. But then, the last thought is this. When there is downside in the market, do the property disappear?
It doesn't.
Do you still need where to live? Do you still need accommodation even at that?
Yes, of course.
Good.
Yes, of course.
So, the property will still be there. You will still have a tenant, and the tenant will still pay rent. So I asked them, all of you here, did you still pay your rent in 2020? They said yes. 2019, yes. Even with the COVID. Your landlord will still collect his money. He's not going to listen to you about whatever is happening. You're still going to pay. even if it's 10 dirham, you're still going to pay. And before you know it, the market is still going to go up. And the property will still go up. And property will still be there. This is why a bank will always give you money to buy a property.
But they will not give you to buy their share.
Exactly. Because their own market share can go down. And they will lose money. And people will sell off.
Property is one of the things that is stable.
Property will always be stable. Because it's there. And the human being will always need shelter. There's nothing you can do about it.
Yeah.
It will always be there. It doesn't matter what happens tomorrow. So, back to investing. It's not about looking at the market trends. It's first of all, understanding what you want to do. Some people want to be selling properties, buying and selling. Some want to keep it and milk it. Just like when you have a cow, you milk it every day. Those are the ones that want to rent their property out. That is the ROI people, looking for return on investment on a yearly basis. That is cash flow. Those that want to do the business of buying and selling are the flippers. Okay? You have to understand how each of them works. When to get in and when to get out. If you want to make money as a flipper.
Yeah.
So it matters too. And being able to determine where the market is going and what it's going to become in a certain number of years or a certain number of time helps you to know when to get in and when to get out if you are into flipping. But if you are into return on investment, if you're into cash flow, you want to keep it and you want to keep getting money from it every year, then you have to look at where pays the best rentals. Okay? Not where gives the best capital appreciation. In as much as the best rentals determines the capital appreciation, because in terms of how we check what a property should be sold, the rent should be good.
Yeah.
It's a determinant factor, core determinant factor. So this is how you make or you know how to invest. So what you want is different from what I want. That's why the first question I ask every investor that crosses me is, what is your goal? What do you want to achieve? You have to know what you want to achieve. Then we can help you narrow it down, streamline it, and bring the best option out of it.
But why should a client have a basic knowledge before coming?
Basic knowledge, even if the client doesn't have a basic knowledge, you have to teach the client. You have to give the client. What I do is to give knowledge, give information, not just for you to buy property. I don't do come and buy. No. Because when you know or when you get information, it's easier to work.
You have a basic knowledge of what you want.
Exactly. So I believe, I say it was an informed client is the easiest client to work with. And after telling you, I'll tell you to go and check it. I'll give you the website, give you whatever you need to go and verify it for you to see it yourself too. Because if you're convinced yourself, getting information yourself, you are more convinced. So tomorrow, when I sit down, we will be deliberating on it, not just me telling you. It will be us putting the ideas together. We will be happier to do the business because you now understand it, how it goes. That's the best way to work.
Okay, that is beautiful. The ad that you're running, what part of Dubai or which side are you using to run it? Can you tell us?
I'm running it in Nigeria.
Yeah,
not even in Dubai.
Yeah, you're running, but to be sold here, to buy a property.
Yes.
Which side?
I am not running it from any side. I'm not running it on a particular side.
Okay.
I'm running it from the angle that this is what you gain. These are the benefits you gain by owning a property in Dubai. Okay? So, because everybody's budget is not the same. All hands are not equal, okay? So when you now want to buy that property, that is what your budget will be, and we have to get you something that fits into that budget that will still make you a good money.
So you were talking about if somebody wants to buy a property from you, from the ad, right?
Yeah.
The person have to, how does it go? You bring the person here. What is the process?
If the person declares interest, the person is in Nigeria, or anywhere around the world, we have to discuss what the budget is like.
Yeah.
And then I will narrow it down by telling you about whichever property that fits that budget and what you're going to get out of it. Depending on what you want to achieve. If you want to sell it later, we have to look at it. If you want it to be there and you have a tenant, you're making money every year, we have to look at it too. So these two things are your budget. We have to consider. Then when you're ready to go, we make your visa, you come to Dubai and continue, okay? If you want to make a deposit before coming to Dubai, we'll make your visa, buy your flight ticket. If you want to come here and then do everything finish, I will still help you from the developer side to get you your flight ticket money. You know, the money you pay for the flight ticket is what I promised on the video, and I'm going to do it. Okay? We will buy you your flight ticket, bring you to Dubai. If you're putting some, you know.
I was going to ask you that question.
Yeah. If you are committing with 5%.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to commit, because this is 2025, there is a lot of things on the internet. People will not want to do something they don't know about.
But you said you will connect them to the developer.
Not connecting them to the developer. Okay?
Yeah.
If they want to commit, they will pay into the escrow account, which is the way we pay for off-plan. If you're not going to pay into the developer's account, there is escrow. You pay into the escrow, you bring the receipt you have paid, we'll make your visa, get your flight tickets, you come to Dubai and finish the rest. But if you say, okay, you want to come and do it here, I will still, after you've done your purchase or putting down your down payment, I will still get you the refund for your flight ticket. Yes, because it's what I promised on the video. So you will still get the refund for that flight ticket you used to come here. And you will still get the normal treat from us. Of course, you cannot come to Dubai and we will not treat you well. So
the person will make their visa, but you will give them flight tickets.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because if they can make their visa, if they still they want me to make the visa, I'll make the visa for them. So the bottom line is, if they commit with 5% payment,
seriousness.
Yes, then I can tell the developer to make those things happen. But if they did not commit, of course, the developer will not want to bring his money to do those expenses. It's as simple as that. Yeah.
And there is another thing. There is another thing that is going on in the internet, right?
Yeah.
Now I understand why some of my videos that our people watching it, they will go on the comment section and be writing some things. You'll be like, wow, they don't understand. This thing going on the internet is, there is this guy in Lagos showing the video of Banana Island, what they're selling in Banana Island,
I've seen that.
and what they're selling in other countries, man.
I've seen that.
This is also crazy.
Yeah, you know what? Okay, continue.
The last one he did, he said it was like a hostel, and he sold about,
I saw it.
Is it $16 or $6 million?
I think it's $16 million.
$16 million is crazy.
It was
in Nigeria.
It was nothing to write home about. You see, if you show somebody an apartment that is sold for $5 million in Dubai,
man,
the person will not. In fact, for $5 million is like 15 point something million.
You know why I said it's too much? That last lunch we went to at is it Shoba or where? Not Iman. No.
Okay, where we saw the
house of 10 million dirham.
Okay, is Shoba.
Six bedroom, right?
Yeah.
That house is crazy for 10 million.
It's beyond crazy.
So you're telling somebody 15 million dirham. 15 million dirham would be like, wow.
You buy a house of 15 million dirhams in Dubai, you know what it is. You're going to buy a penthouse in Palm.
No,
for 23 million.
And the person was calling developers, you need to give feedback. These are not developers, these are individuals doing that kind of thing.
No, the point is Nigerian market doesn't have a regulation.
Yeah.
Okay? You just do whatever you like, you feel like. Build whatever you feel like. On a land that doesn't worth, in fact, I would say doesn't worth anything, because you cannot tell me that you can put a value. What kind of value are you going to put on that land that will warrant that kind of price? In fact, if it's an empty land, it's even better. The person can build what he likes. But when you build those block of flats, because that is block of flats, okay, 3 flats here, 3 flats here, just looks like a hostel, like the guy called it. And somebody is paying, he wants somebody to pay 6 million for it. Anyway, I wouldn't say make it make sense, because there is no way you can make it to make
This is
sense.
how greedy people get. This is how greedy our people get. And you know, funny enough, people have been selling houses like that.
It's not even about being greedy, okay? You know, the hype. There is nothing to substantiate the hype. You know, when you say that Dubai is this, Dubai is that, when you come to Dubai, you see it, and you even see more. Because you cannot, in totality, be able to explain to somebody what Dubai is like. It's something you feel.
You need to come and see
You need to come and feel it. You need to come and see it yourself. Okay? Because you cannot, even if you exaggerate, your exaggeration will not be enough. So you need to come and see it. When we are talking about having apartments with swimming pools, or having apartments that have beach on it, some people think we are making it up. But when you come, you see it. When you come and see the designs, see the projects, see what people are, the ingenuity people are putting in to create some things, you will marvel.
And it's not even up to $1 million.
And it's not even up to $1 million. That's the point. So how? And another thing is, if you are renting that property out, how much are you going to get from it? That's the question I ask. If you're putting in $3 million in a property in Nigeria, how much is the rent per year?
If it's higher, it's because of that place, maybe 70 million naira.
You're not even going to get, in fact, you're not going to get up to 2% in every year. But bring that money here to Dubai, you're going to get 8%.
And the person was referring those houses to South African houses, right?
Yeah.
The person was not even saying Dubai.
No, when he brings it to Dubai, it will not be comparable. You cannot compare both.
No,
that was something.
But it's
else.
good that people have started calling them out on distance.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what to call it.
Another question I should ask is, the people that are going to pay for that money, have they not traveled before? Why do they need to pay that kind of money? Because I can also see people are buying those things.
That's the point. I don't know.
Yeah.
Because there's no reason why anyway, everybody on their own kind of stuff.
Or just to say I live in Banana Island.
That's everybody on their own kind of stuff. If you have the money to live in Banana Island, that means you have enough money to do something better.
Guys, we will try to conclude this episode. Is there anything you would like to give us? Is there anything at hand you would like to let us know?
There are a lot of things at hand. Okay, the most important thing is getting into the business of real estate. Okay, the last best time to buy a property was yesterday. And the next best time is today.
Now.
Is now. So when you get into the business of real estate today, ask questions. Most people don't ask questions. Okay, ask questions. Find someone that knows. Find someone that knows what you want, that understands what you want. If you're listening to somebody clearly, you will be able to solve that person's problem. But most agents don't listen. They just want to sell you something. And that thing they want to sell you is the only thing in their head and the money they're going to get out of it. Okay? That's why most people will tell you that Dubai agents are this, they are that, they are this. But the point is, you that is buying the property, have you asked that person some questions, some critical questions that requires answer, that will let you know or understand that whether that person knows what he or she is doing and knows it well. So that's the most important thing. Ask questions. There are procedures for everything in Dubai. There is no shortcut to it. If, for example, with me, if you want to buy a property in Dubai through me, I will need a meeting with you. Whether it's on Zoom or Google Meet or physical meeting, I must ask you for a meeting before ever we discuss anything. Your interest, first of all, you want to buy a property, yes. Okay, Let's go on a meeting. Are you around in Dubai? I'll come and see you. Or come to my office and see me. If you're not around, we'll meet on Zoom or Google Meet. That's that's the first and foremost thing. There, we will now discuss whatever you want, everything you want. I will give you all the information you need. But if we can't talk or meet, how am I going to understand what you want? And you that is buying a property through me, that is investing 1 million dirhams, 2 million dirhams, 5 million dirhams, 10 million dirhams, how would you know that I know what I'm doing if you don't meet with me or talk with me?
Yeah.
Most people tend to make this mistake. If you are asking them for a meeting, they tend to be very busy.
Yeah. Can do it this time or can do it. It shows that yourself are not even.
Yeah, not even if they giving you a time that you guys can meet is okay. That shows he's 100% interested. But telling you that he doesn't have the time for a meeting, send me the properties you have and all of those kind of stuff. Yeah, you might know everything, but I don't know what you want. And I can't send you properties that you don't want. Because there are 1,001 properties in Dubai. I need to know what to send to you. And I'm not going to send you more than 3 properties that suits your requirements. Even 3 looks big to me. Most times it's 2. Because I need to narrow down that your request and make sure that whatever I'm sending you is what you're looking for. That's the way I work.
And the only way you get our idea is if you talk to the person.
If you talk to the person.
Yeah.
There are things people say, and there are things you can read that people don't say. There are the unspoken emotions that you need to read from meeting that person, from knowing what the person does for a living, from understanding the kind of lifestyle the person lives. To tell you, it will go a long way to tell you what kind of property they are looking for. Most times, people don't know what they want. Sorry to say it. Most times, people can't express what they want. But it's your job to find it out. Especially people that are looking for places to live. People that are looking for investment is simple, it's numbers. But people that are looking for places to live on their own home, is very difficult because you need to understand what the person wants. So that's the first and foremost thing to do before we start talking about how you're getting into the business, is to know what you want, understand it, and both together we can figure it out.
All right.
That's what my take.
All right. Okay, guys, we've said it, and I hope you've listened and get the information that you need. So see you next time on Vicinfluential. Thank you.